Katie, the IB coordinator here at Lucille Brown, and this is Meredith Dash from Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay. And we're looking at the site that we are going to make a rain garden as part of our third component for our market garden and our learning garden.
I would say it's not actually a rain garden. It might more be like conservation landscaping, which includes planting native plants. But yeah, all along this area. Tree just scan. So we got this area, this whole thing. Some of these plants, I think, were planted as wildflowers, so they're coming up naturally, and we will not remove them. We're going to try and remove basically the top layer sort of weeds, and we're going to get down into this and probably add some compost material or perhaps some just little topsoil so that we can add some supplement for the plants that we do plant here.
And you're bringing in all native varieties with milkweed and liatris and all kinds of things that are coming in, which is great because it's a filter and it's also great for our pollinators. So
yeah, we typically use things like a variety like shrubs, perennials, grasses even, which are great for growing in this type of situation where we have like plenty of sun, and they will be drought resistant. So they should do well here, especially if they're natives, and it will work as a pollinator area. This whole area, if you measure this entire thing, it's 2,500 square feet, and so it's a lot of area for there to attract butterflies and other pollinators that will work well with the garden that Toby has planted on this side. So I think it will be a great partnership.
All right, great. We're looking forward to it.
And let's get to composting. All right, if you've got a pair of gloves on, come with me, please. I'm Toby Vernon, Executive Director with Community Food Collaborative. What we're doing here at Lucille Brown Schoolyard Farm is we're pairing outdoor learning with agriculture and entrepreneurship in an effort to make learning real for students here at school by bringing them out of classrooms and applying the concepts that they're learning in classrooms to real world physical and work environments. So we've taken an unused section of schoolyard and converted it into an agricultural operation and a learning and demonstration garden. I need you guys to pay attention to a couple of really basic but really important points here, okay? And it has to do with where you walk. Right? This is like kind of a philosophy for life that you might want to consider too. Think about where you tread, all right, and how heavily you tread. Okay, so I'm right here. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I moonwalking, baby? Huh? I do a great moonwalk, right? That's what this is? Yeah, close. Where am I doing that in the garden bed?
No.
Where am I?
In the middle.
I'm in the footpath, right? My feet are where they're supposed to be. They're in the footpath. I've got cool shoes on. I've got really cool socks on. And they're where they're supposed to be, on my feet and in the footpath.
Thanks. So this tree is a river birch. You remember, we're going to talk a little bit about watering. So where do we say we water? At the roots. Why do we water the roots?
Because it has more protein.
That's where the water needs to go. And one way we do it, we can do it kind of say low and slow. I'm Ellen Shepard, and I have two children who attend Lucille Brown, a 6th grader and an 8th grader. And part of what attracted me to this school is the IB program, the International Baccalaureate. The idea that my children would leave school with a global perspective. The idea is hands-on learning, where your English class is connected to your history class. I'm thrilled to have this outdoor classroom or living laboratory here at Lucille Brown. It gives an opportunity for the kids to take what they've learned inside and do hands-on real work outside.
It's a mulch, a natural organic mulch that is going to slowly break down and add to our soil. So there's lots of nutrients in these fall leaves. And so there's bacteria, there's fungi, there's all these microorganisms in here that are slowly making this stuff break down. Okay.
You see that?
And by spreading this nice and thick out on the ground, we're like mimicking like what happens in the forest when leaves fall and they slowly break down. That soil in there is super rich.
I think this is my favorite part, the mulching.
And there are a couple blueberry bushes, so you guys can see the blueberry bushes too.
I just tasted some.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. I
There are
did.
a few more right
The
up
kids
there.
are looking at me like,
Okay, so we're out in the garden. It's the first real official day of summer. It's just really lush and verdant out here. It's high noon. Plants are growing. We need to get some water on things. And I have some teachers with me, and we're kind of looking at what we did last year and what we want to plan for next year. And what was your suggestion, Ms. Elder?
I thought that when we came out, there should be markers of some kind, labeling what the plants were, maybe what they were good for, what things we could use as far as salad.
So creating markers helps us with vocabulary and identification of plants and what we need to use it for, what
Nutritional
minerals.
value.
as well.
Okay, that's brilliant. Do that.
And cookery, we could even,
Have a good-
you know,
now you
involve
have
the
to-
family,
Okay.
family
You
life
can
and
raw
consumer
or
science.
cook, or both.
Could
Okay.
use
Right.
the vegetables and
Okay.
stuff for cooking. I know that we do a unit on birds, and this year I had the kids out digging worms for our baby quail that we raised, and we also use some of the greens for feeding them. We have intention of having a full farmers market with the garden, hopefully next year, which would involve parents and people from the community, students coming in and planting, harvesting, and selling the product to the
They
neighborhood.
also had a chance to see where their sunflower seeds came from.
Oh,
And we
yes.
showed them, and they
That's
said,
right.
"Oh, well, we just get them right off there," and they were excited about that. So a lot of things that they don't know and they never had exposure to, that this garden allows them to see and feel and understand how things grow and how they go from the ground to the supermarket to their tables.
Right.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.